Good afternoon. The great event today is that Phil's got a new camera. I won't go into details, but the old one was sort of oozing out of its case. And anyway, so this is the new super duper latest, best of everything, so we'll see what happens. And the other thing is that those of you that have my little book, Mystic Verses, may have noticed one of the nicest I think I've ever written, about starting with a field of seeding grass. And I'm standing in front of such a field now, which I find absolutely what? No words to express it. And I hope it looks equally lovely to you. Now to serious matters. My name is Daniel. I'm 22 years old, from Germany. I'm a big fan of your videos on YouTube. Thank you very much, Daniel. And you send me an interesting question, because although he's picked up that I talk about meditation being a very practical way of raising the general level of consciousness, at 22 years old, Daniel rightly points out that he feels he wants to get involved with the practical, physical, human, day-to-day aspects of making the world a better place. And so he asks, really for a bit of explanation. Daniel, my dear, this is an entirely normal way to feel. When I was your age, and for quite some years after that, I also felt very much the call to make the world a better place. I did it through farming, and then I actually went out to South America to do just that. And it wasn't until really I was 26 that I began to think in terms of meditation. And even then, for many years, I was very much a practical farmer, working very much with the physical things of this world. We need really to try to understand that just as we grow older in the physical world, in the physical body, so spirit also develops slowly, gradually, over a long, long period. We often these days see the phrase body, mind and spirit. And this is what happens when to begin, life is almost entirely physical, isn't it? And then, sorry, they've got some biting flies here, called horse flies, that's why. Yes, we start off with the body, and then some more than others become interested in the mind and questions of the mind, and finally we may reach out to spirit. So, forgive me if I've been misleading on these videos when, of course, you know, we all tend to want to put forward our best, don't we? And the great discovery of growing into spirit is that life gets better and better. Somehow all the difficulties and the problems that we encounter in the world of body and mind we grow out of them as we grow into spirit. So the problems become no problems, or rather, by surrendering to the to the one who really knows and understands and has the world in his power, the higher authority, you realize that me, you and me, don't really know. This is the great human discovery, that we don't know. That's why that's why we find ourselves in a world in a mess, because we've made it so. And in growing into spirit, we begin to realize our ignorance. That's right. It's not that we do anything more. We begin to undo our ignorance. But of course, when we're young, we don't know any better, do we? We can't help it, because that's the way we are. We just see as far as we can see. As Jesus says, we have eyes and we see not. We just see as far as we can. The eyes of flesh see flesh. The eyes of spirit see spirit. So, at any one stage of our life, the golden rule is to be true to yourselves, be true to your vision. Live out what you feel you must. And then through experience, through learning by mistakes, you'll gradually evolve. You'll move on, you'll try something else, you'll try something else, try something else. This is how it works. So just follow your heart and just do what feels right to you. If you want to go out and help the world in terms of being there as a helping hand in the physical world, God bless you, dear, do it. And as long as that seems the thing to do, then do it. Don't worry about growing up before you're ready. You only fall over if you do that. The expression is, don't try to run before you can walk. Now then, another question from Carolyn. Carolyn from Australia. Now she remembers the many times I've illustrated looking at the sun and then turning around so my face is in shadow, so that I create a shadow. And I use that to demonstrate, here we are facing God, who is the one who knows, the higher authority. And here we are, we turn round and we cast a shadow, hence the works of darkness and human ignorance. Well, Caroline asks, when you say turn to the light, where is the light one turns to? Within? Or is it above, behind, through, left, right? And in silent meditation, I've endeavoured to turn in all directions. Alas, to only remain in darkness. So I'm wondering where the light actually lives within oneself. Where does one find the direction to so simply turn to light? Well, I had to laugh at this question at first, Caroline, but then I thought about it rather more deeply and thought, well, it's a jolly good question. So I'll try to answer it in a satisfactory way. It's an interesting word, light, isn't it? It has many meanings. There's the sort of thing that happens when you turn on the switch and the light bulb comes on. The light that was in darkness becomes light. Now then, what other? What about light in weight? Lightweight. Weightless.
Photons have no mass. Weightless.
Phil, who knows these things, has just told me photons, whatever they are, have no weight.
Mass.
Have no mass. No. So the sort of the light in your reading lamp, weightlessness. What about light-heartedness? Light-heartedness, dear. How about just feeling light? Sometimes your feet could hardly drag themselves up the stairs, can they? Sometimes we dance along. Love light. And now I'm going to link this, if it doesn't take too long, with another question that asks me, how do I meditate? Well, there again, it isn't such a simple answer. I'm afraid it's going to make this rather a long video. If I say turning to the light, yes, but as Carolyn says, what light and where is it? I wonder if I could sort of bring it all together by just using the phrase, what makes you feel better? Now, there are all those sort of lights I've been describing to you could all be described as making us feel better, couldn't they? And basically, what is it what is the motivation for meditation? Does it make us feel better? If that's the case, we'll do it, won't we? So how do I meditate? By turning to what makes us feel better, or what makes me feel better. You could also describe that as what you love, what you really, really want. The sort of guiding light in one's heart. The inner compass that instinctively keeps one turning in this direction. In spite of oneself, very often in spite of one's elders and betters who say you should be doing something else. Be true to yourself, this above all, to thine own self be true. And it will follow as the light, the day is the light. It will follow as the light, the dark. Thou canst not then be false to any man. The light of truth. Now again, as I said to Daniel, throughout all your life long, you evolving, and your understanding of the light, your understanding of what you really, really want, what you love more than anything else, will keep evolving throughout your life. You may have a glimmer of it, glimpses of it even, sometimes of quite strong realization, but all these things strengthen as we proceed. All the questions and the doubts fall away. That's how I meditate. You start with a method, a recipe, and then it just gradually evolves. I wonder if that's sufficient answer. 3 good questions. Please keep them coming. They're very helpful to me to have something to get my teeth into, and I hope it's useful to others too. Back to the here and now. The lovely grass behind me, a butterfly fluttering just round the camera, and this blessed, silent, still presence. God bless you, dears. Until the next time. Bye-bye for now.